I've been thinking about something lately. It's something that keeps me up at night, and I think it might bother you too, even if you don't realize it. It's this dangerous idea in our society, the thought that change just happens to us, not that we make it happen. This idea is stopping us from reaching our full potential. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you looked at your life and thought, this isn't good enough? When did you last decide that you wouldn't wait for things to get better, but that you would make them better? Too many of us are just watching our own lives, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect circumstances. Well, here's some news. That perfect moment doesn't exist. It never has, and it never will. Life doesn't just happen to you. Life responds to you. It's not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And some of the best dancers I know started in the middle of a downpour. I know some of you are thinking, things are tough right now. The economy is bad. There's so much uncertainty in the world. And you're right. Things are tough. But let me ask you this. When has anything great ever been achieved without overcoming tough times? Tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I'm here to tell you that you're tougher than you think. You've got more potential inside you than you can imagine. But potential without action is like having a Ferrari in your garage that you never drive. It might look impressive, but it's not taking you anywhere. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to decide right now that you're not going to wait for change to happen. You're going to make it happen. You are going to take control of your own destiny. I know that sounds big and scary, but here's a secret. Big changes don't happen overnight. They happen with one small decision at a time, one small action at a time. Do you want to start a business? Great. But don't wait until you have everything figured out. Start small. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Maybe that means setting aside an hour each day to work on your business. Maybe it means reaching out to one potential customer or mentor each week. The point is to start moving. Do you want to get in shape? Fantastic. But don't wait until you have the perfect workout routine or diet plan. Start today. Go for a walk. Do some push-ups. Eat one healthier meal. Small actions, consistently taken, lead to big results. Do you want to improve your relationships? Wonderful. But don't wait for the other person to change. Be the change you want to see. Show more kindness. Listen more actively. Express gratitude more often. These small acts can transform your relationships over time. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Change is never easy. If it were, everyone would be living their dream life. But here's the thing, the pain of staying the same is ultimately greater than the pain of change. Think about it. 5 years from now, you can be exactly where you are today, dealing with the same problems, facing the same challenges, or you can be in a completely different place. The choice is yours. But remember, not making a choice is still making a choice. Life is not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. Creating takes action. It needs effort, intention, and not giving up. I remember a young man I met years ago. He had a boring job and was barely making enough money. He told me he was waiting for a big break, waiting for things to get better. I asked him, "What are you doing while you're waiting?" He looked confused. I said, "Are you learning new skills? Are you meeting new people? Are you saving money? Are you working on your mindset?" He admitted he wasn't doing any of those things. He was just waiting. That's a mistake many of us make. We think waiting is being patient. But there's a big difference between patience and doing nothing. Patience is working towards your goals and knowing it takes time to see results. Doing nothing is just letting life happen to you. That young man took my advice. He started learning coding in the evenings. He began going to industry events and meeting people. He started saving a little money each month, even if it wasn't much. And you know what? Within 2 years, he got a job at a tech startup. Within 5 years, he started his own company. He stopped waiting for change and started making it happen. That's what I want you to do. You might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. Here's a simple way. Dream big, start small, but start. Dream big. Imagine the life you want. Don't let your current situation stop you from dreaming. Your current life is the result of past actions and thoughts. It doesn't define your future unless you let it start small. Break down your big dreams into small, easy steps. If you want to write a book, start by writing 1 page a day. If you want to run a marathon, start by running around the block. Small steps may not seem big, but they create movement. And movement is powerful. But most importantly, start. Take action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Here's a secret. You'll never feel completely ready. The most successful people in the world started before they felt ready. Now let's talk about fear. Fear often keeps us waiting. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what others might think. But fear is just false evidence appearing real. It's your imagination creating worst-case scenarios that rarely happen. And even if they do, so what? Failure isn't the end. In fact, failure often leads to success. I've failed many times, but each failure taught me something. Each setback made me stronger, more determined. And that's true for anyone who's achieved anything. Worthwhile, Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about it, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of someone who doesn't wait for success but makes it happen. So, embrace failure. Don't see it as something to fear, but as something to learn from. The only real failure in life is not trying. Let's also talk about excuses. Excuses are what build a house of failure. I've heard them all. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right connections. But here's the truth. For every excuse, there's someone out there who faced the same problem and overcame it. Some people started successful businesses in their 60s and 70s. Some teenagers became millionaires. People have built empires, starting with nothing but an idea and determination. Success doesn't care about your age, background, or circumstances. It only knows effort, persistence, and not giving up. So from now on, make a promise to yourself. No more excuses. No more, "I can't." From now on, it's, "How can I?" Instead of saying, "I don't have time," ask yourself, "How can I make time?" Instead of saying, "I don't have the money," ask yourself, "How can I raise the money?" This change in mindset from focusing on problems to finding solutions is a game changer. It moves you from waiting to doing. Let's also talk about comfort zones. Comfort zones are nice places, but nothing grows there. Every major breakthrough, every big achievement, every great success story started with someone stepping out of their comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That's where the magic happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. That's where you find your greatness. So I challenge you to do something that scares you every day. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay quiet. Maybe it's trying a new hobby. Maybe it's talking to a stranger. Whatever it is, do it. Each time you step out of your comfort zone, it gets bigger. And as your comfort zone grows, so do your opportunities. Let's talk about time. Time is the great equalizer. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't often comes down to how they use those 24 hours. Time is like a river. You can't stop it, you can't slow it down, but you can decide how to use it. You can let it carry you along aimlessly, or you can steer your boat in the direction you want to go. Start guarding your time like the precious resource it is. It's the most valuable thing you have. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Look at how you're currently spending your time. Are you using it to move closer to your goals, or are you letting it slip away on things that don't really matter? I'm not saying you need to be productive every minute of every day. Rest and relaxation are important. But there's a difference between intentional rest and mindless time wasting. Make sure you're choosing to rest on purpose, not just wasting time. Start waking up an hour earlier. Use that hour to work on your goals, learn something new, exercise, or meditate. That 1 hour a day adds up to 365 hours a year. That's over 15 full days. Imagine what you could accomplish with an extra 15 days a year focused solely on your goals. In conclusion, achieving a good life comes from consistent self-discipline. It's about applying what we know, constantly improving our approach, and keeping up our efforts. This leads to a life of achievement, contentment, and success. So stop waiting. Start doing. Start moving. Start creating. Life is short and time is precious. You weren't put on this earth to be ordinary. You were put here to be extraordinary, to make a difference, to leave your mark. But that can only happen if you decide right now to stop waiting for change to happen and start making it happen. Your future self is counting on you